Hello and welcome back to the finishing line and another weekend preview. We are minus one dinosaur this evening. He's a sick dinosaur. God bless him. But myself, Sean, and Tom are here to get you through this weekend's racing, and we'll have a quick look back at the week that was. But before that, housekeeping, Sean, how are we? How's college?
Not too bad. It's getting busy. It's getting rough. I won't lie. I'm fucking missing midweek racing, so that tells you how busy I am. I heard there was some excitement at Chepstow today, some interesting rides. So the group chat was flying. Dave was in great form.
He was. Tom, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Good. Not too bad.
What's lie?
Injured horses. Not great fun, lads. But anyway, we'll get. I've only just sent out an email, so I'll
perk yourself up, Tom. Perk yourself up. We need an update on Cheltenham for next week.
Yeah, look, Cheltenham. One bit of good news is off to Cheltenham next week, next Friday. And it doesn't look like they're due any rain. So it should be, as long as they are over water, Cheltenham, if you're listening, it should be rattling quick. And he should love that. Put a line for the last day. I think the ground was gone too soft for him. The ground really is going to be the key to him, I think. So really looking forward to him. He's been in great form before that. He was doing well fresh as well. And he hasn't run there. That was the start of October. So that's going to be about 5 or 6 weeks. And I honestly don't think there's a better target trainer. We see it at Cheltenham every year. Sean thinks Henry can only ever train winners at one place, and that's at Cheltenham in March. But we see he's a fantastic target trainer. So I'm really looking forward to Cheltenham next week. It should be a good crack.
Speaking of Henry,
we got a new horse.
You got a new horse?
Yes, we've gone on the flat after. I should actually mention Tony, shouldn't I?
Yeah, big Tony. Give him a shout.
Did you not mention Tony last week?
I wasn't here last week.
You're still on the rip.
Yeah. You were drinking all the Tony money. I forgot about that.
I was on a flight with Gordon Elliott and a load of other Bloodstock agents at this time last week on the way back from Newmarket. And
Sean, how dodgy does that sound?
Sounds great. And Tom was the only one there after selling the horse, which is even better.
There were a few lads who'd have a right few quid more than me now on that flight, but at that right time I felt like a millionaire. But
did that Ryanair planes land safely, Tom? Did they come in a bit easier when there's a bit of assets on the flight?
They do, yeah. Michael's brother Eddie was actually on the flight, so they mind them when Eddie's on there.
This is not sounding like a Ryanair flight the more you go on.
Tony, Antonin Dvorak, our 2-year-old Carberk, sold him 220 grand to go out to Saudi. 16 grand we bought him for into 220. It's not a bad year's work basically. So delighted with him. Well done to his owners. And we've gone and got another one. So we've got a filly with Paddy Toomey, yearling, Havana Grey filly. We've been talking to Paddy for a good while now about getting a horse. She was out book free at Tattersalls. He's done really, really well with a limited number of book free purchases. So she looks great. She's going to be a sharp early type, and really looking forward to her. So there's still some shares available. If you'd like to get involved, pimlickorracing.co.uk, look it up, and Havana Grey filly. Yeah, looking forward to it.
And I can't wait for Friday next week when Cheltenham wins. Tom is absolutely polluted, and the sales are on the same night. Myself, Big Sean, and sitting in there. Yeah, Pimlico. Yeah, we'll have him. 300 grand. Yeah, that'll do.
There's I was thinking about booking a flight home on the Friday night, but it's probably just a waste of time, isn't it? Either way, it's a waste of time. So.
You can spoon someone in the bedroom.
Yeah, it's my problem with Cheltenham. I've no excuse. Like friends live up the road and this kind of thing, and it's I've very limited excuses to get in and out there quickly.
So just book the flight over. Don't even bother about the return flight. Right, we kick on. We'll have a quick look back at last week's action. And since we're talking about Henry can only train horses in Cheltenham, he somehow Tom managed to win another Grade 1 up and down rider with good old Envoi Allen winning his second Ladbrokes Champion Chase. Tom, Henry, again, in good form. Just sends all the right signals for next week for you anyway.
Look, I hope so. Yeah, he's absolutely flying, isn't he? And we'll get on to him bringing horses over to the UK later on in the show as well. Envoi Allen, he's just a legend, isn't he? He just loves it up there. Delighted to see him go and win again. Some people hate Envoi Allen. If you hate Envoi Allen, you just need to get a bit more joy in your life, I think.
One of them isn't here right now.
Yeah, Dave is one of those people. Putty's just put a comment up that's caught my eye. I can't help but look at it now, but we can't mention that.
But then would it be this one? Would it be this one?
It would be that one. Dave off riding. Potentially Putty, I'd imagine, knowing Dave.
6-4 shot.
But Envoi Allen, absolutely fantastic. Delighted to see him go and win. And it'll be interesting. Jerry Clom that finishing beaten. We'll see where he goes. You know, that Gold Cup can leave a mark. You just wouldn't know. But you give him another chance, obviously. But we'll see.
Yeah, Sean, talking about Jerry, he looks like another horse that's after felt the wrath of galloping the champ because they're all dropping like flies now.
Yeah, we actually touched on it during the week, didn't we? The amount of horses that have finished running up to out galloping and have not been the same since, and 2 ran in the same weekend with Brave Man's Game and himself. Just on Jerry, I'd say the ground was a bit quick. I thought his jumping, I mentioned, I don't know, for some reason he didn't jump great around there last year. He also made 1 or 2 mistakes this year, but he's beat a long, long way out. I'd say there's possibly something not right there. I don't know if Anton's come out since. I know they mentioned after the race to check him over and wait till Christmas. But it's a hard one. It's a sticky one now. I know people were saying before that race he was sort of a decent one that you'd say would be in and around the place for the Gold Cup. That just worried me now big time. Envoi came there. In fairness, I thought maybe he might need a run at the right ball age of 10, but he dug in deep late. Hewicks went out in front and he had to go and get him, and he did. He caught him right in the line. It was a great finish, an epic finish to a good race. But going forward, I'd say Envoi be back down to his middle distance trip. Shark was a little bit sour about the ground, wasn't he? Up and down road about the water and saying, yeah, he's a little bit sour. He wasn't too happy there. I don't think that was the win and losing, to be honest with you. But great race, and Jerry, disappointment. I have to wait for him now to go do it on the track again.
Yeah, I won't be too put off with Jerry. Look, the ground was probably a lot quicker than he would have wanted. They were probably going to stride too fast for him. And look, if we saw last year, it took him ages to pick up after the last. I just write that off, and he'll be back in the winter ground. He's kind of spring horse at the same time. His best form has come after the new year. But yeah, look, good race. Move on. Few chase and debuts. Firefox, Tom, that was electric.
Yeah, very, very good. Very impressive. It'd be an interesting horse. Like, he was obviously right up there with the novice hurdlers, and it'd be interesting to see where he takes rank now. Interesting to see where he takes rank in the novice chases this year. But judged on that, he's going to be bang up there. You'd have to think, wouldn't you?
Sean, another one. Found a 50. He gave a lot of weight away to Pinkerton now. That's after putting him bang up there for the open grade ones.
Yeah, I thought Found the 50 done well. Firefox, I don't think you'll see a better starting off jumping novice. You'd normally say Henry's are quite well skilled, and you'd probably better jumping than Mossy Fern Park, to be honest with you. I thought he was absolutely dynamite, and I don't know, I just don't think he's a 2.5 mile horse for some reason. He didn't put much distance. I know he wasn't asked a lot. We didn't put much distance between himself and Mossy Fern Park after the last, and I think no doubt, I'd say they'll skip the Drimmore and come back down to 2 miles and probably go to Christmas. Him and in the pocket now, them two rock up to Christmas. It's exciting without Willie horses even being out yet. But on Found the 50, he was good. I thought the Pinkerton, I don't know if he got stuck down a little bit of ground, but Found the 50 switched him aside very easily. And I seen they're mentioning John Durkin now. That could be a spicy addition to that race now. If you have your likes of your fast or slow maybe a couple of Willie horses rocking up, you'll definitely know where you stand after that in terms of the potential Ryanair candidate if he goes close to that.
Last one we will go on.
Just what rating do you think he got off the Racing Post Firefox? What RPI do you think he ran to?
Oh, Jesus.
115, 16 with them. 120.
126.
126.
I'd had it a bit higher than that now. I'd definitely had it in 130. But yeah, 126.
126.
126. 126.
For that performance.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like I went low my estimate because I know how them stupid fuckers work, but Jesus Christ, that's wow.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it was a bit better than that.
Last one we'll touch on. That's disgraceful. I'm just looking at here. Right, and according to Racing Post ratings, Tom, Brighter Days Ahead ran to 155. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think Sean's going to like what I got to say. Look, she's very good. Very impressed with her again to some extent.
She has no hope in the champion hurdle.
Yeah, all this talk about champion hurdles, I'm not with it at all. She doesn't jump well enough, lads. It's as simple as that. Before you get into her ability or anything, she just doesn't jump well enough. So that's not going to happen. It's basically all I would say. But,
and you're right.
She'll go down the mare's hurdle route, and she'll have a hell of a chance in it. She's very, very good. I think it just. I want to just put it all on Jack for last year at Cheltenham, but I'd say if he could have the ride back, he probably would. It turned into a sprint, got beaten by a flatbred horse. She's definitely was the best mare of those. So yeah, she's gonna have a hell of a chance. But I can't have her in a champion hurdle. Not in a million years.
What do you make of it, Sean?
Yeah, the champion hurdle's a spoof now. I know they like bigging up horses and stuff like that, but no chance of a champion hurdle. Last Tom touched on, you can't jump like that in a champion hurdle. And I said it last season. I thought her jumping over 2 miles, going a good strong gallop. It's just, I don't know. It's just not the greatest. She can hit one. I know she flattened the last, but I thought this performance, first time back, was very impressive. It was the only time on the card that was under standard. They went a right good gallop. She had Daddy Longlegs behind her. She went and took her on going down the back straight when he tried to slow her down a bit, and Sam Young kicked her on. She kicked on off the back of the third last and put Daddy Longlegs away. And I thought maybe coming to the second last, King of Kingsfield was at the being ridden patiently, coming with his run. I was worried. I'm not going to lie. Between the second last and the last, I thought he was going to go and pick her up. She's absolutely leveled the final hurdle, but somehow got up out the other side and found and probably put a bigger distance between themselves at the line than what was at the last hurdle when she made the mistake. I was blown away by it, to be honest with you. I thought 2.5 miles is going to be where she's at home. I wouldn't be surprised at all if she even got 3. She just looks like one of these horses that has a high cruising speed, can go at a high tempo, and I can see her probably campaigned around the 2.5, 3 miles. I said it in the write-up. I think she's a bit like an Appleshade. I think she could be very, very good. I just don't think 2 miles will be the trip. I think 2.5 plus is where she'll be at. And I'd be interested to see where she goes next. They won't go Hatton's Grace with the Hoopoo, but you see where they go next for her.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth there. I think the further she goes now, the better she will be. I can't have her at all for a champion hurdle. Things will happen way too quick for her, and she won't be able to sort of feed out. But one or two that in the comments, lads, just want to touch on quickly. The Yellow Clay, impressive on his chase hurdle debut. Where would you go with him, Sean?
I don't know. I wasn't blown away. Look, he won well. I'm not saying it was bad or anything. I just don't know if he's a natural over the hurdles. Look, first time he could be jumping a bit better. But I know a couple of people, including yourself, might think he's the pipe horse. So he could have a couple of spins now. You need 5 runs. So
he has to be kept busy. Not now. Jesus. They'll have to, as you said, like there's 5 runs now. What are you going to do? Throw him out in the back of non-trial races and... Only starting them out, you can get away with that, though, isn't there?
Yeah, no, look, I think the novice performance, I don't know if we're going to touch on, I thought Romeo Coolio was a knockout one. If you're going to ask me about the novice hurdlers, I thought Romeo Coolio was dynamite. He jumped, He sized up. He didn't do it. He gauged his hurdle very well. I thought he went down the last and he was able to sort himself out. I like when they can sort themselves out on a good clip. Now, he didn't beat anything, but I just thought he done very, very well, and he's definitely put down a stamp for that Royal Bond. He could take some beating and that.
Yeah, he looks very, very good. Last one we will touch on. Tom, what do you think of Ryuaka? Looks kind of back to his best, but what did he really beat? A very, very below par, not even below par, a shell of a form herself, that is Brave Man's Game.
Those races just look pretty crap as well, don't they? Just when you're watching them. They do. Like, does the Ryuaka get enough credit for what, you know? Like he's gone a Charlie Hall or whatever it is very well, but I don't know.
He has no hope. In other words, he has no hope in open grade ones. There's no.
When he comes and meets a proper horse, like he's in trouble. Like, he's
all that Weatherby racing was bananas.
Yeah, like Brave Man's Game has been on the decline for the past year.
So he's a nice horse. Nice horse. I'd love to own him, but yeah, that's probably all he is. Like there's a lot of those nice horses.
Right, that is a quick look back at the week. We'll move on to this weekend. The Wincanton have their elite hurdle, and we're back over the national fences at Aintree, and we'll finish off with the return of Marine Moose, aka Marine National, who's back on Sunday. Right, we start with Wincanton 223. The Boodles, Rising Stars, Novice Chase, Grade 2 over 2 mile 4. Handstands in a 5-2 favourite, Peaky Boy 11-4, Resplendent Grey 11-4, Soul Icon 5-1, Boomtown is 5s as well, and Intersection is 5s and bigger. The rest, Sean, take this one.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go with the last one that you've mentioned there, Insurrection. He's 5-1. He's a bit of a price. He has the Novice Chase experience. You're coming in here, you're up against Handstand, Peaky Boy. Look, Peaky Boy looked a big natural chase, and so did Handstand. They're both big horses, but first time up thrown into Grade 2 level, I'd say they're going to have to be fairly forward and know their job to be going well in this. I just thought Insurrection, look, he showed a bit of form at Chepstow when Nichols is, right, I'm not saying they're not fit, but I don't think they were fully tuned, because a lot of them are placing but just not getting the head in front. And I suspect second run up, these are going to be turned out a lot fitter and a lot better. I think the form could turn on its head from their first runs. I just think 5-1's a big price at the outside of the field. He showed decent form over hurdles last year when he was second in the Grade 2 at Sandown, and then he was behind Golden Ace when he had to carry the penalty. But as I touched on, he went to Chepstow. He knew his job. I know Cuthbert Dibble sadly broke down that day, but he was just sitting behind him. He jumped every fence, and the only one he made an error at was the last when he pecked at the back of it. And he just looked a bit tired, but he plugged on into second and fought off Boom Bon. I think if he comes on for that, he's jumping. They followed a similar route in Nappers Hill last season, who went to Chepstow and then went on to this exact race. They both raced in the same one, and I think he's able to jump. He showed the last day. If he got out the front and put these to the test, horses for the first time going over fences, I think he might be able to show his experience and run well.
Yeah, as you said there, the form is starting to turn around now. His last 3 runs have been first, second, and first, and then there's been a few place horses in between. And I'm the same as you. I'm going with him in this, and I think he'll take a lot of beating here. If he opens up 5-1 on the day, he's a cracking bet there. Tom, what about you?
I'm going to take one whose form figures look horrific, but he does actually try, and that is Soul Icon. I'm going to take the experience here. This lad's had 7 runs over fences against a couple of them who were trying it the first time, like the Handstands, Peaky Boy. They look nice horses, and they look like horses who are open to improvement, whereas Soul Icon probably is where he is. However, he's already rated higher than them, and I'm going to think that chasing experience might count. I actually think it's a good bit of place in here, rather than sticking in handicaps going into Grade 2. Tom Bellaby takes the ride. Kieran Burke is 3 out of 8 in the last 14 days, 38% strike rate. So they're absolutely flying. This lad, Market Raisin, he just got done by 1 in the summer plate. Very, very solid run. They were wide apart. Aintree, he led a long way and just got done on the line, and he was a fast finishing second at Ayr. So it's not like he's dogging it. I know it reads 2-2-2, but I think he definitely tries. If he can run to that kind of level, like he's ran to 144, 141, if he can run into the 140s here, it's going to be very hard. Like we just talked about the the Racing Post ratings there from Down Royal, whose horse I can't remember now, was 126.
Firefox.
Firefox. I had found a 50 in my head, and I was like, it's not found a 50.
I was like that all day. I could not differentiate from the two for some reason.
It's like, it's not found a 50. Don't say found a 50 or sound like an idiot. It is hard to go and do that. I mean, I remember we were looking at this last year when we were going to Cheltenham with Ina Tondu, and we were looking at running in maidens against some hot bumper horses, and we went down that route in the end because she literally had all that experience, and she only just got beat, and one of those ended up going on to be placed in the Grade 1. So I think experience can count for a lot first time up over different obstacles. And yeah, Soul Icon, I'm going to take him to win this.
Okay. Right, we're moving on to the Elite Hurdle 255, a mile and 7 furlongs. Rubaud is in an even. Brentford Hope 7-2 along with Lamine Lion. Lump sum sixes. Aspire Tower for Henry de Bromhead is in at 8s and 80-1 bigger rest. Thought we start with you. I presume two of us are on the same one here. Henry doesn't send him across the water for the good of his health. And as Sean says, he's getting that special something coming over. It's called fresh air, Sean.
That's it, yeah. Look, Henry's bringing him over a lot more. And like Andrew, we were talking to him in the yard there, and he was saying just the opportunities for them over there and the prize money being so good. Like you look at this race, it's a 70 grand handicap. Like, yes, 70 grand handicap, 70 grand Grade 2. Like this is better prize money than Ireland, and you're coming over taking on the likes of these horses, which they're no mugs, but they are Grade 2 horses. You haven't got any Grade 1 horses in this and lurking in this. So Rubaud, he picks up at this level. In fairness to him, he does, and he should be very, very solid. Brentford Hope as well. You'd imagine he'll run his race. He normally always does, but just for the prices, I'll take a chance on Aspire Tower. Came back hurdling the last day. He's got to pick up on that ratings wise, but I don't see why he can't. Didn't really work out for him chasing all for it. He still ran some very nice races in defeat, especially that day at Furless behind Zana here. You go back, like he's been fourth in a champion hurdle, this lad. Like it's very, very good form. If he could come back to anything like that, he would absolutely wipe the floor with them. So if he runs to his mark, he's getting £6 off of Lamine Lion and off of Rubaud as well. 8-1, I'd definitely take a chance.
Yeah, I just jump in. I think I totally agree. Like he showed something like his former self the last time. Like Piper went off 4-9 that day, but he had him well beat before he came down. He was beat on the home turn. Eagle Fan rang on late, but that was Aspire Tower first run since March of that year, and he's sure to come on for it again. And as you said, Tom, look, these are just bang. They're not bang average, but they're no world beaters. Brentford Hope was last finishing second to Daddy Longlegs, and he hasn't really done much since. And for me, Brentford Hope's best form has come with dig in the ground, and it's not going to be soft over here by any stretch of imagination. Lamine Lion is coming in on the back of a layoff, his summer break, and lump sum. He was probably drilled to the nines to win the Welsh champion hurdle. Can he back that up? Who knows? So you're landed then on Aspire to Henry de Bromhead's record when he's sending horses over, and you're taking on Paul Nicholls' horse at even money. 8-1, I think, is a cracking bet for him. I would be on him every day of the week in this race. And, as you said, Tom, he's getting the weight. Sean, what about you?
Yeah, he's getting the weight. I can see your point. I do think he's probably one of the biggest dangers. I just don't know what that form worked out the last day. I know it's his first time back after a while, but I don't know if you look back through, I don't know if I'm hoping he's the horse that he probably was a year or two ago. And horse now, I know he's at the top of the market. It's going to take no genius. I just don't know how you get away from him. I think he's absolutely concrete. I can see a few lads getting GSI'd into this fella. If you could tell me Rubaud's optimum conditions, it's this exact race on Saturday. Right-handed, quick ground, and I could see he's already had a run this season when Nicholls' horses weren't going too well. He was the one that got his head in front, and he comes in here having a run off the back of a victory on his optimum ground, running right-handed. I just think he's bomb-proof, to be honest with you. I'd say Harry Cobden be off the front, probably won't see what way he went. He'd kick off the bend the way he'd go. I think he'll take plenty of beating. You've the main line in there. I'm not sure if he's going to turn up. He's not jocked up at the moment. And Brentford Hope is not a horse I take. He's a bit of a bridal merchant, throws up in some handicaps, and then some days he doesn't want to know at all. But I did have his biggest danger as Espoir Tower. Henry sending across, as you said, he's not doing that for nothing. But I think Rubaud has the capability of going off a hell of a lot shorter than he is at the moment.
Yeah, I'd love to see. I reckon he won't get his own way out in front. Like Aspire Tower is one who goes with the pace as well, and he could be one to just upset him a little bit. He has been known to hit one or two, but yeah, I think it's going to be a good race if the two of them turn up. Right, we are going to move on. 3:30, and the 63rd Badger Beer Handicap Chase that he is usually farmed by a Paul Nichols horse. Lord Accord is 9-2. The Changing Man is 9-2. Mufasa is 5. Copperhead, who is on the comeback trail of all comeback trails, is 8-1. Blackjack Magic 9s and 10-1. Bar. Tom, what do you make of this one?
Fiercely competitive. The only thing I could say to do is maybe stick with the horse in form and stick with Copperhead. He gets in here if the weights stay the same off a very low weight. Like, he's literally is in the form of his life now at the minute, isn't he? His last two runs. Look, they've been off much lower marks, 117 and 112 and 122, but he's £8 higher. But like, I know it was a veterans race last day, but like, £8 definitely wouldn't have stopped him last day. The triple suit, I think the weights stay low. I think he'll have a hell of a chance.
Sean?
Yeah, I thought it was ultra competitive. I was looking down, and I know you're talking about, I think Tom nearly fell over the day you want to see him remastered, managed to get his head back in front, and he's back in here. I seen David Pipe was a couple running well, but the one I came down on was Blackjack Magic. He's 9-1. I'd put him up each way, and I come down on him because he's won the race last year, and he's gone well fresh. He's shown that ability to go well fresh. He definitely would not have stopped. He's been put up £4 for it, and he was beaten 300 through 5 last season. I don't think £4 would have stopped him that day. But he went on and finished fourth in a very competitive handicap at Ascot, where I think the first three in front of him have all come out and won. There's a couple of winners in behind. And he lost his form a little bit. He came down at Kenton and was pulled up at Punchestown. But he's off since Punchestown, and I think the benefit of that 2 poor runs is you're getting a price in here. He's 9-1. I think showing that he goes to the track, goes well fresh. I think he's a good each way angle in here at 9-1. Yeah,
me and Tom are singing off the same hymn sheet tonight, which is very, very worrying, to be honest. Very worrying. I'm a Copperhead as well. He started off the season with 117, and he looked like he was a horse that was just going to keep dropping in the weight, but for some mad reason, he's out there finding a new lease of life, and he's out there bolting up last time at Aintree. And as Tom said, it was a veteran's chase, but he couldn't have won it any more impressively. Won by 14 lengths, got an £8 hike in the weights. But horses like this who find their form once again are very hard to keep out of frame. The race is going to be run to suit. He's a course and distance winner. The ground is no issue. Obviously, the trip is no issue, as well as the course. I think he's a solid each way bet at 8-1. I know he's probably the oldest. Oh, he's not the oldest in there, but he's a 10-year-old. And Joe Tizzel's horses are still running quite well. He's a horse back on top of his game. I think he'll run a massive, massive race in conditions that'll suit him very, very well. Right, we're moving on to Aintree, back over the national fences. For the Grand Sefton, boys for Grand Sefton over 2 miles, 5 furlongs. Percussion's in the 7s. Ferrero Bamboo is 8s. Light Night Pass won a cross-country chase at Cheltenham last year, was 8-1. Sure Touch is going for 5-timers 8s. Arizona Cardinals winner over the fences are 10s. Eldorado Allen 10s. Bigger the rest. Sean, you can take it.
Yeah, look, another ultra competitive heat, I thought. It'd be good. I always like watching races around the Aintree track over the Grand National fences. Don't have a great record now, so I don't know if his selection is going to do much good. But I've come down on Arizona Cardinal. He's the top and winner from last season, and he shows that he goes well at the track and he can go over the obstacles. Look, he climbed rapidly in the handicaps last season. He won 3 in a row. He went from 123 up to 142. And he's come back at Chepstow, and I just hope it was over fitness that he stopped. I noticed he's had wind surgery before, but he was off the front. Well, he wasn't off the front. He was up with the leaders at Chepstow, over 3 miles, and he turned in for the bend and he went backwards very quickly. And I was hoping that this is going to be the fitness run just to put him right for in here. Like I said, he's shown last season. I like horses that have gone around this track, and some specialists that don't perform anywhere else but do very well at Aintree. And I think if he's ridden handy enough, you'll be out of the way of trouble, hopefully, touch wood, and he should run a big race. So be Arizona Cardinal each way at 10-1.
Tom?
Andrew, I presume me and you are going to probably pick the same horse in here as well.
Sure. Let's find out.
I'll run for a couple of them. Yeah, Percussion is an obvious one. Has gone well at this course before.
You love him. You always put him up.
I know. I love those colours as well. They love this track, but it just doesn't win that often, and that can be fairly said about my selection as well. But yeah, I'm going to move away. I'm going to move away from him. And he's at the top of the market. Arizona Cardinal, yeah, Sean, I see what you're saying. And I think the market told a bit of a story about him the last day. He took a walk in the market that day. So Late Night Pass is fascinating because really took to the national fences in the national itself, and has also gone round, won and gone well around the Cheltenham cross country course. So a step back in trip might help that lad. Is 11. The Ellis team are in great form. 2 winners and a couple of placed horses. So I'll be having a bet on Late Night Pass. And the other one I'm going to back, and you're going to think I've lost my head now, is Chartreuse. I was watching.
No, I'm glad to say we're not putting up the same one.
I was watching the replays for this race the other day, and I remember fancying Chartreuse going to the Albert Bartlett. Really, really fancied him, but I think Clonmel ruined him for that day. And it's been a long way back. He hasn't won since that Clonmel race. He looked like a chaser, and he hadn't taken to it. He just hasn't got an opportunity yet. He's ended up in really competitive handicaps. He's ran well in them. He finished 7th in the Topham in April, but he made a mistake 5 out. Like, you could have argued he should have been pulled up. Like, he was down on his nose, all 4 legs went everywhere. And that was completely race over, but he was enjoying himself up until then. He still managed to only get beaten 20 lengths and finish 7th, 24. So I cannot see him outside the first 4. So if you're getting places like that, I can't see him outside the first 4. So I'm going to back Chartreuse and Late Night Pass, and surely one of those is going to give me something to shout about.
Right, okay. I am at the landing on Ferrero Bamboo. He was 3rd in this race last year, beaten 4 lengths by Gesquil. But it's his form after that he showed, which showed he can run to a really high level away from the national fences. He was 3rd behind Fugitive in the December Gold Cup at Cheltenham. And then his second last run of the season, he was 6 lengths behind Shake 'em Up Harry in the place at the Cheltenham Festival. He's down 3 pounds, so he's 3 pounds lower than he was when he was 3rd in this last season. And I think if he's ridden a bit more positive this year, I think he's a very good bet at 8-1. Venetia Williams is very good at getting horses ready first time up. She had that one last week at Ascot?
Yeah, Matador.
Matador, yeah. That was his first run of the season. Another handicap. She's very good at naming horses like this. I'm full sure this fellow will be primed and ready to go for this. Off 3 pounds lower than he was last year, I think he's a cracking bet at 8-1. So he will be my selection. Right, last one we are going to touch on, and it's more or less just to talk about the Moose. Barberstown Castle Chase, Grade 3, the return of Marine Nationale. And Tom, if we're honest, if this fella doesn't beat this field, they should just pull up stumps and just stop.
Yeah, look, I know we've done a lot of laughing and joking about him on our horses to follow show or whatever for the season, or flop or not. I think I definitely said flop. There's enough reasons to take him on, not on Sunday. I think there's enough reasons to take him on going forward. But he gets his ground, he gets his trip, he gets plenty of weight. And look, it would be lovely to see him come back and absolutely bolt up, wouldn't it? And show us that horse that he looked like. He looked like over hurdles, and in fairness, he won well on his first start at Leopardstown. But yeah, I hope he can do it. I do fully expect him to be honest. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't be parking with any cash at any price.
Sean, your thoughts?
Yeah, we plan on making a trip down to Nice. I'd say Joe might be there, so this could be a funny 5-10 minutes now. Joe, me and Joe have a lot of stick with each other about horses and stuff like that. So I'm going to see how nervous Joe gets pre-race to Marine National. Hopefully, I get a video of him. But yeah, look, coming in here, he's not a betting proposition. He's a horse. I agree with Tom. He has to do it and probably do it again to convince me that everything's okay. They found the perfect opportunity for him. He gets weight all around. I think Xanaher is the only one that he has to give weight to. But Calixios and stuff like that, if he's not beating them types of horses, you might as well rule out the Champion Chase. But we'll see on Sunday. I suppose they probably will have him well forward. He gets his ground, so there'll be no ground excuses. And hopefully he gets his head in front.
Like, there is zero excuses here. You have the ground.
No.
It's not easy field, but it's a substandard field to be running against and a good field to be.
Yeah, there's no Dino Blue.
No, there's no Dino Blue. There's nothing stand out. You're not beating Calixios standing here. Hercule Desoy. There will be questions need to be raised, and it can't be all fitness or whatnot. He's going to be ready to go. Not fully ready, but enough to win this. I'm nearly full sure. And yeah, if he doesn't win this, you can tear up any docket you have for the Cheltenham Festival or any anti-post bet that you have him in. Just forget about it. But yeah, and another Joe, they might need to perk up Joe because he's had a bit of bad news today with William Money now might be dead or not. He's gone from he's had to go now to 33-1 on the book. So in the book, he's after losing a leg. God bless him.
Yeah. And I think Tom, your horse to follow. I seen he's in the maidens.
Yeah, it's going to get some showing. 40 coats is entered in the 2 mile and 2 mile free maiden hers at Nice on Sunday. So really looking forward to seeing him. Yeah, I'm really, really excited about him. I'm glad he's out early. That would just suggest that, everything.
Yeah, I think didn't Henry win it with Slade Steele and Man's Way? Was that this card last year or was it a week or two later?
Absolutely no idea.
Yeah,
I'm nearly full sure Man's Way was in this race. Well, not in this race, but on this card. Yeah, I'm nearly full sure I remember.
Yeah, Sean, you are 100%. Who would ever question you, Sean? Slade Steele.
You every day of the fucking week.
Slade Steele won the 2 mile maiden hurdle on his card last year. I think I had a runner on this card last year. I feel I was. Pascal ran on this card. Yeah, Pascal ran.
Prior days ahead in that, was it? Oh, lovely.
The fish. No, that was in the fishery lane.
Do you know what that says about your horse, though, Tom? Be running the same race as Slade Steele and him at the win. He's winning, not keen gallops.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I hadn't really overthought about it too much. There is also, Henry's got another entry in there, but yeah, he obviously
taking the damper
off. Trying to find an excuse. No, you are right, Andrew. In fairness, trainers are creatures of habit, aren't they? So, I'm sure he has it earmarked for a nice one. So I hope so. I really hope so. I think he can be a very nice horse.
Right, we will finish on Naps and Next Best. Sean, Nap and Next Best for the weekend.
Oh, Nap would probably be Insurrection. I think 5-1's a very good price about him. I can see that coming in a lot. And my each way bet would be Blackjack Magic in the Badger Bear Chase.
Tom?
So my Nap would be Soul Icon. Really like his profile in that Wincanton Grade 2 on Saturday. And then I just go for my bets in the Grand Sefton, which are going to be Late Night Pass and Chartreuse each way, and play that up and enjoy the race. I really enjoy those national events races.
My Nap is going to be Aspire Tower in the Elite Hurdle. I think he's a wrong price totally. I think a few of them have better form on better ground and are coming back off their summer holidays. My next best would be Forever Bamboo in the Grand Sefton. Right, that is us done. Next time we will be back. We will be getting geared up to watch Tom lose about 2 stone in the parade ring by sweating and nerves and everything else to go with us, as Chutsoon gets ready to bowl up the Cheltenham Hill, and we don't see him for a week after. So Tom won't be here the week after that. We'll be back to preview the Paddy Power meeting at Cheltenham. So until then, enjoy the weekend's racing, and we'll see you next Wednesday for another weekend preview.